Good morning. Welcome to Emily Cat 176. It's Wednesday and Wednesday's poetry. So let's start. The Glass Jar. To Vivian Smith. A child one summer's evening soaked a glass jar in the reeling sun, hoping to keep, when day is done, and all the sun's disciples cloaked in dream and darkness from his passion fled. This host, this pulse of light beside his bed, wrapped in a scarf his monstrance stood ready to bless, to exorcise monsters that whispering would rise nightly from the intricate wood that ringed his bed, to light with total power the holy commonplace of field and flower. He slept. His sidelong violence summoned fiends, whose mosaic vision saw his heart entire. Pincer and claw, trident and vampire fang, envenomed with his most secret hate, reached and came near to pierce him in the thicket of his fear. He woke, recalled his jar of light, and trembling reached one hand to grope the mantling scarf away. Then hope fell headlong from its eagle height. Through the dark house he ran, sobbing his loss, to the last clearing that he dared not cross. The bedroom where his comforter lay in his rival's fast embrace, and faithless would not turn her face from the gross violence done to her. Love's proud executants played from a score no child could read or realize. Once more to bed, and to worse dreams he went. A ring of skeletons compelled his steps with theirs. His father held fiddle and bow, and scraped assent to the malignant bawler. The child dreamed this dance perpetual, and waking screamed fresh morning to his window sill. As ravening birds began their song, the resurrected sun, whose long triumph through flower-brushed fields would fill night's gulfs and hungers, came to wink and laugh in a glass jaw beside a crumpled scarf. So the loved other is held for mortal comfort and taken, and the spirit's light dispelled, as it falls from its dream to the deep, to harrow heart's prison, so heart may waken to peace in the paradise of sleep. The Glass Jar by Gwen Harwood. What did you think of that? Another Gwen Harwood poem. And if any of you are wondering who Vivian Smith is, he is another Australian poet. So Gwen Harwood dedicated this poem to him. She is such a good poet, such a good poet. So of course this poem is about the fear of the dark, the fear of the unknown. That's quite obvious. And the child is trying to capture the sun to keep light in his room, to keep away the monsters and the fears that he has. But there's also a tone in there of jealousy. The child is jealous of his father's hold over his mother's affection. If you read it, it is there. That's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. But I like this poem, and I like the way Gwen Harwood has used the sun, capturing light in a jar. I really liked it. And as I said, there is also sort of a Christian bent to it, using words wholly commonplace. Disciples, ready to bless, to exercise. So you can read that into it as well. So yes, I like that. From what I'm reading with Gwen Harwood, she writes a lot of poems from a child's perspective. The Owl, the first of her poems I did, that was about a child, and I really liked that one as well. I think, as I said, I think she was a very, very good poet. And as I've said, if someone's looking at this the first time, our most prestigious poetry prize is called the Gwen Harwood Poetry Prize, and her poetry is studied at Australian universities and schools. Because when I mentioned to my sister, she remembers, because she's an English teacher, she remembers studying some of these poems at university. So isn't that good? As I said, as I keep saying, poetry in particular, you have to be so careful the words you use, where you put them in, the commas, the pauses, the semicolons, all these things. It shows a true love of language. And I am going to look up Vivian Smith now. As I said, I didn't know who Vivian Smith was until I looked at this poem. He was born in Hobart. He is still living as far as I know. So I will have a look at some of his poems as well. So I hope you are enjoying these. I said I'm certainly enjoying looking them up and reading them. There's something, I think, even when there is, and there can be, like with William Blake, Tiger, there's battles and all the rest of it, but there's something very peaceful and calming, I think, about poetry. I don't know if you agree. As I said, I certainly think it's there. So enjoy your day. It is very, very windy here, so I hope you've been able to hear me over the wind, and I will be back on Friday. Enjoy your day. Bye.